Hello, everybody. How are you all? It's so nice sitting here and enjoying this absolutely amazing view and feeling the vibe of nature, feeling this nature so deeply is a rejuvenating experience. And I often get into this mode of thinking, why is it that right from our childhood we are never ever been taught to prioritize joyful time with nature? If you look at the children today, there are hardly any places where they can sit and enjoy. There are hardly any places where they can sit and experience a pleasant time with themselves. There are hardly places where they can simply relax. There's no nature. So that's why they're completely engaged in mobile phones. So somewhere there is a great conspiracy to infuse the minds of these children and integrate them into mobile games. So somewhere there are conspiracy theory experts, as you can see in the internet. They tend to say that it is a great mega plan of gaming industries to trap young children into gaming, so that later they can integrate the whole planet into artificial intelligence and control people through just network. But I beg to differ here, because it's not the gaming industry which is trapping you, it's the social fabric and framework. How is it the social fabric and framework which is trapping the youngsters? Because of their parents. The parents are constantly conditioning them into studies, education, telling them nowadays they are telling them do coding, right from 4th class, 5th class, 6th class, they're telling them do coding. And do what? And just earn money. So earlier people used to go and work in some places, do some marketing and then earn money. Later they used to, some people used to work in different technologies and earn money. Today they are getting into more integrated technologies and earning money. Tomorrow it is going to be something else. But essentially it's always about making money. And what do you do with that money? You take that money and go to the market and buy things that you need. And after sometimes you will have a lot of things that you actually need. Then what will you do? Then you will go and start buying things that you don't need. Now whatever you don't need are those things that you buy simply to project to the society, because otherwise the society is not going to value you. So you will buy. Otherwise they will say, hey, you've been working in a company for 10 years, you don't even have a good car. So what have you done all these years? You have not done anything. So now he will apply a loan or she will apply a loan and get a car. And banks will be very ready to pay, because they will be benefiting out of that. And then it is all about a house. Already today a lot of people have their own houses, but still they want their children to have a better house, so they will have another house and they will call all the relatives, and there is this housewarming ceremonies that they do. And it's all a projection, which I call as a social projection. And because of the social projection and the way in which other people think about them is determining every single reality, people are getting trapped. And the fundamental seed of this trap is laid by the parents, because parents are not feeling happy for joyful smiling faces of their children. It's a tragedy, but this is a truth. It's an unfortunate tragedy, but this is the truth, isn't it? Let's say you were very young and you were smiling, you were very, very joyful. Did your mother ever appreciate you? Did your father ever appreciate you? Did who you call as your brother, sister, uncle, auntie, grandfather, grandmother, did they ever appreciate you? Think for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's very, very painful when you start self-introspection. But again, after that realization comes enormous freedom, because after that you will be free from lot of guilt. I just went through this realization and I was suddenly free from the family loyalty. I no longer had to please my mother. I no longer had to please anybody else in my life. I started living for myself. And then I realized a very, very great and significantly important point, that you cannot make another person happy if you yourself are suffering. All that you will do is anticipatory guilt installation. What is it? Anticipatory guilt installation. You will install guilt and you have an anticipation for that. And this really reduces anybody's ability to be themselves. And today it is a choked expression. Parents today are telling, what is it that I get out of you? You're a useless son, you're a useless daughter, you're not listening to your parents, I've given you a lot of freedom. These are words. In fact, these are subtle ways of murdering your internal peace. Your internal peace is getting murdered bit by bit. It's not a process that's complete. It's a self-torture in many ways. So I feel it is very, very wrong for people to blame these companies, to blame the companies which I call as gaming industries, that they are trapping you. No, definitely they are not trapping you. You have to first create freedom in your own house, where you can literally be happy when your child is very, very joyful, and tell the child that, hey, I appreciate your smile. Your smile is so beautiful. You are alive and I feel very happy for this. This kind of a statement really connects you deeply, and you will have a penetrating impact on your children. Children will have a penetrating impact on their parents. There is a certain, assimilation of conscious thought process. There is a convergence of harmonious thoughts. There is a melody, there is a beauty, and there is a tranquility that flows every single place. And that's what I call as a house, LA. That's what is a beautiful house, isn't it? Where you have people who are very, very smiling, they're very joyful, just because each person is happy. And I can say you can live anywhere if you have such vibrant people around you. It is only possible with lovers. It doesn't matter, you don't need a Netflix to be together. You don't need an Amazon to be together. You don't need to listen to music to be together. Two people who love each other, they become the central influence. Everything around becomes secondary. The space becomes secondary. In fact, somewhere, it doesn't matter. The movies does not matter at all. The songs does not matter at all. Two people, they begin to breathe and enjoy each other's company. This is unfortunately never ever thought or cultivated, because wounded people are coming together and producing children. Today it has been such a terrible tragedy that when a boy or a man is having all kinds of bad habits, they say you should marry that man to a girl, then his life will be set right. Of course, not only that his life is not settled, he will also destroy the life of the girl, and she will also be a miserable woman. Of course, she is also wounded, because she also is coming out from the womb of a wounded woman. The wounded people are reproducing and creating more wounded children who are growing up into adults. So now this process is happening in millions of places, and now you have a wounded society, and wounded society again is coming together and producing wounded children. So you have a society structured in such a way where everybody is wounded internally, they're emotionally hurt, and everything is centered around one aspect, which is called as material growth. And somewhere, if I have to treat you well, I have been taught right from my childhood that you should be somebody worthwhile respecting. Why you are alive and I don't respect you for that? Should I not respect you because you are alive? Now this is a very, very terrible thing. It's an extremely terrible way in which the society is shaping, and unfortunately You don't have anybody who is speaking in these directions, because this is where the problem lies. And how do you rectify it? It should come from the top leadership. The billionaires, the top 100 billionaires in the planet, or the richest people in the planet, must come out and tell and talk to the world that I'm appreciating my people because they're alive. The society must grow to such an extent where there is love and harmony. We should not be talking about equality. We should not be talking about all other nonsense when basically we are not integrated as a respectful society. It's time to think about these things, and you can always get into these wonderful thought process when you are a digital life coach. And being a digital life coach is truly a blessing. I always say this in all my videos. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Stay blessed. This is Karthik Poovanam. Have a great day.